Hello everyone. We'll continue chapter 10 in Shaar HaYichud Vehamuna that we started yesterday for base Tammuz, for the second day of Tammuz. In today's lesson, each day of creation was predominated by a different divine attribute, which produced creations according to its type. So, for example, Sunday produced creation of Chesed according to its type. Monday would create created beings according to its type, which is Gevurah, and Tuesday Tiferes, and so on. But also included an aspect of other sephiros for inner inclusion. So meaning within Sunday you would have, if we call Sunday Chesed, kindness, so within the kindness of Sunday you would also have Gevurah, you would also have Tiferes, they're all included, but the dominating one would be, for Sunday would be Chesed. Dominating divine attribute for Monday would be Gevurah. But it doesn't mean that it's only Gevurah or it's only Chesed. So if you like to follow with the Chayenu, it's on it's on page 70 and the bottom. So in today's lesson, the Alter Rebbe now offers an instance of how creation came about through the spheres. For Sunday, Chesed is revealed. Kindness was revealed. But which is comprised of all God's holy emotive attributes, with His will and wisdom and understanding and knowledge enclosed in it, was revealed. So His will, His wisdom, His understanding, everything was enclosed in these emotive attributes. Remember yesterday we said that it's unfathomable to understand the union between Hashem, the unity between God and His divine attributes. It says, and with this attribute He created light. Through the utterance, let there be light. Which is a diffusion and flow of light from above down into the world, and its diffusion in the world from one end to the other. This is the attribute of Chesed. For Chesed is characterized by diffusion and revelation. Yet, because the attribute of kindness also includes the attribute of might. For the attributes of Atzilus all incorporate each other. Therefore, the light was not as spiritual as the actual supernal light. Also became enclosed in this world, which is finite world, limited world. It is a journey of 500 years from the earth to heaven and from east to west. It doesn't say how do you do the journey. Probably by walking would take 500 years. These limitations would not have come to pass were creation to proceed undiluted from the attribute of kindness. Meaning, if Hashem would create the world directly through kindness, undiluted, meaning not contracted, not condensed, then then we would have a situation which there is no limitation in the world. Now, this limitation would not have come to pass were the creation, the limitation of 500 years, for example, from earth to the firmament, to the rakia, which diffuses without limitation. However, since the attribute of might, the source of limitation, is incorporated within this kindness, creation is finite. So what we see now is the fact that kindness comes with Gevurah enabled the creation of the world. If not for Gevurah coming together with Chesed, Chesed would create, but not a finite reality, would create also an infinite reality. The fact that they came together, now you have a finite world. So, really, Gevurah, severity, might be perceived as something harsh, but that enabled the creation of a finite world. At any rate, because the attribute of kindness was revealed and was dominated during Sunday, during the first day of creation, created beings related to Chesed, such as light, came into existence on that day. So anything that has to do with Chesed is associated with that day. And similarly, in like manner, on Monday, Niglas Midas Gevurah, the attribute of Gevurah is revealed on Monday. Kulo Mishal Midas, and it's also included in other attributes. So if the world was created with Gevurah, but without Chesed, the world would not be able to survive with unlimited Gevurah. Has to be a limited type of Gevurah. So with the attribute of might, God created firmament, the firmament, through the utterance, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. So as we learned in previous Mamorim, that the whole concept of divisions was created on Monday. It's Parashas Korach, which speaks about the dispute of Korach with Aaron, Moshe. So it says that Chassidus tells us that the root of the machleket goes back to the generation of the disbursement, and the root for the dispute and strife for the generation of the disbursement goes all the way back to the second day of creation. Second day of creation, which division was created. She bechinas tzimtzum gevurah. The Alter Rebbe explained to us the whole concept of tzimtzum, of what is Gevurah. Gevurah is tzimtzum. Separation of the waters by the firmament is an expression of tzimtzum and restraint. Gevurah is to conceal the upper spiritual waters from the lower waters. Separating spiritual waters. Water mean in Hasidus, in Kabbalah, it means spiritual flow, wisdom. Well, this in his Gashma Tachteim, but now the moment that the upper water is separated from the lower, then it creates that the lower water are now becoming more physical. They're becoming coarser. Well, this Gashma, through the separation from this upper, the lower waters became more material. Going to page 72 in the Chayinu, it says this materiality was brought about through the tzimtzum and concealment, which emanate from the attribute of might, the attribute that was revealed and dominated during the second day of creation. Umidas chesed klulabo, kirelam chesed ibona, the attribute of kindness is included in this attribute, for the world is built with kindness. And there's a note by the Rebbe that says, and the very act of building itself is an expression of kindness. The whole concept of building is an expression of kindness. Even when where might prevails, it is tempered by the attribute of chesed. What was the purpose of separating the upper water from the lower water? So the dry land should be revealed. So it's Gevurah, an act of Gevurah, but for the purpose of Chesed. And ultimately, then a man should be able to live on earth and serve Hashem. And so with them all, each of the other emotive attributes was likewise revealed on each subsequent day in order to bring created beings into existence. And this is the meaning of what Eliyahu said in Tikkun Isaiah. This is taught, and it is this thought that Eliyahu expressed in the Tikkunim. The purpose of the emanation of the spheres, the emotive attributes, was to show how the world is conducted with righteousness and justice. Tzedek, din, righteousness is law. Mishpati rachamei, the attribute of Gevurah. Righteousness is law, the attribute of Gevurah, and justice is mercy, the revelation of the attributes is to show how the world is conducted. Now, aval lav de'itlach tzedek yedei adudin. This is Aramaic. It says, but it is not that you have a knowledge or a noble righteousness, which is law. V'lo mishpat yedei adurachman. No, a noble justice, which is mercy. V'lav mikol inu midas klal. No, any of these other attributes at all. What does it mean? This means to say that righteousness and justice exist as separately identifiable attributes, only relative to worlds and created beings. As regards God Himself, it is not that you have these attributes. In relation to Him, they do not exist independently at all, being completely unified with Him, just as sunlight enjoys no independent identity when within the sun. So on each of the days of creation, another one of the divine attributes were revealed, and the creation of that day were expressions of the dominant divine attributes. This is the today's Tanya. Probably mention something about Gimel Tammuz, the days of Rebbe's passing 26 years ago. It says if you go to page 159, it speaks a little bit about Gimel Tammuz. It speaks about the significance of visiting the oil, the resting place of the tzaddik. So should probably look at it, read it, 159, a few pages, speaking about this day, and obviously try to increase in learning. And Rabbi many times said that the way to connect with him is through learning his Torah. Best way to connect with the tzaddik. So try to increase, and all the good things that the Rabbi encouraged is obviously learning, giving tzedakah, and acts of kindness. Buchim Tiu. Continue, God willing, tomorrow.